but I'm just gonna cut mine. I'm gonna put this in. So everything's wilted down. What it's looking like. We have the salty and the sweet. It's probably gonna be so good. I could see this being on repeat for sure. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and I am going to be showing you a really good recipe. It's called a detox bowl, and it is going to be very good if you have splurged a lot this weekend, you ate too many foods that you probably should not have eaten. But also it's one of those things that you can make on a weekly or a daily basis if you'd like, because it's full of a lot of nutrition, a lot of vegetables and protein. Now for the protein, you can use whichever one you like. You can use ground beef or ground turkey or even ground chicken. It's up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys exactly what you're going to need to make this recipe. So stay tuned. You need about 2 cups of kale. You're going to need some Brussels sprouts, probably as many as you'd like. And then you're going to need some ground turkey or ground beef. You can choose whichever one you want. I'm just doing ground turkey because I like to balance out my meats. So sometimes I'll do beef, sometimes I'll do turkey, sometimes I'll do chicken. Then you're going to need 2 medium-sized sweet potatoes. You're going to need two limes, 2 cloves of garlic, chili powder, salt, maple syrup, and olive oil. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to preheat our oven to 400 degrees. Now you want to cut up your sweet potatoes. So I am going to keep the skin on. You don't have to keep the skin on. So we have 2 medium-sized sweet potatoes, and then we have about 2 cups of Brussels sprouts. So you want to cut the Brussels sprouts in half, and we're going to, like I said, cut this down into cubes, the sweet potatoes, but we're going to leave the skin on for this one. Again, you do not have to leave the skin on, but I like to leave the skin on because the skin has a lot of nutrients that I want. So totally up to you on how you want to do this. But I'm just going to cut mine into cubes. Okay, so now that our sweet potatoes are cut up in cubes, we're going to go ahead and cut the Brussels sprouts in half. Just like this. Okay, so when you are finished cutting up your sweet potatoes and your Brussels sprouts, this is what it should look like. We're going to transfer this over onto a cookie sheet or a sheet pan, and then we're going to put this in the oven. Okay, so we are going to transfer this over onto our sheet pan. Okay, so everything's transferred over to our sheet pan. So you're gonna just mix it in, incorporate it evenly. Okay, so now that we have that nice and incorporated, we are going to add some olive oil and some seasoning. So this is the olive oil I'm using. You can use any olive oil that you want to use. Drizzle it on, generously. You can use whatever oil you like, but this recipe calls for olive oil. So you want to you want to then put some salt to whatever your taste is. You can choose how you want to season your vegetables. Just going to do a little salt. Probably going to do a little pepper as well. And I know I didn't mention the pepper, but I'm just going to add that in just to season it, because we don't need a whole lot of seasoning because we're going to be adding some sauce to it. We're going to make a homemade sauce. So just kind of mix that in, make sure your hands are clean. You can use a spoon if you like, whatever you want, but you just want to make sure you're getting the oil and the seasoning mixed together nicely. Don't want it to be dry. Okay, so now that our everything is cut up and we have everything ready to go and our oven is preheated, we're going to put this in for about 20 to 25 minutes. Let that get cooked. Okay, so I'm just using a little bit of olive oil for the pan. We're going to put that on medium heat. We're gonna add our ground turkey into the pan. Keep your pan on medium heat. Okay, so now that our meat is fully cooked, we're gonna go ahead and season a little bit before I add my kale. So a little salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. The kale in. So we want the kale to wilt down. So I'm probably just gonna put a top over that. So we're gonna let the kale wilt down into the mixture before we go ahead and finish our seasonings. Okay, so that was 2 cups of kale. Now it's wilted down. So I'm just gonna add some finishing touches on the seasoning part. Just a little bit more onion powder. Okay, so for our sauce, we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of olive oil. We're gonna do 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. We're going to juice 2 limes. And we're gonna pour our lime juice into the bowl with the maple syrup and the olive oil. We're going to add some chili powder. You can do this to taste. You don't have to do this exactly how I'm doing it. You don't have to put the same measurements. I feel like food should be to taste, like however you want it to taste. So I'm just gonna put as much as I want in there. I'm gonna put my garlic, my minced garlic in there. I'm gonna add some salt. And then I'm gonna finish it off with some red pepper, crushed peppers. I'm just gonna take a fork and mix that in. And this is gonna be our sauce. You can make more sauce if you'd like, but I'm only feeding 2. So this whole recipe feeds about 4 people. But if you wanna make more sauce, you would just double the recipe. So this is gonna go over our bowl. And I think we're just about done everything. So we're gonna go ahead and put everything together. Okay, so here is our finished bowl, and we're going to go ahead and drizzle some of that lime sauce on our bowl. Give it like that extra punch of flavor. And you can put as much as you want. Like I said, if you want to make more, you can always double the sauce recipe and make more. Very nice, nourishing, healthy bowl. Something that is packed with protein, fiber, and vitamins and minerals with your sweet potatoes and your kale and your Brussels sprouts. It's a really great bowl to have. All right, guys, so now it's time for our taste test. So here is what our bowl is looking like. We have protein, fiber. We have all of the things that we need to fuel our bodies in the right way and get our day started, whether it's dinner or whether it's like maybe lunch. I feel like this will probably be more of a dinner. So let's go ahead and taste it. So we're gonna take a little bit of everything. The sweet potatoes with the salty and the sweet. It's probably gonna be so good. Very good. I love the sauce. I like the mixtures, the savory and the sweet with the sweet potatoes. It's very good. I could see this being on repeat for sure. Very good. So I'm gonna leave the recipe down below. Let me know if you guys try it. I will be bringing more recipes very soon. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye.